There's no place to go but up for your Carolina Panthers, taking its preview of the Bryce Age up to the Meadowlands for a shot at redemption. This time against New York's other team, the Giants. Can Bryce Young and the offense find the end zone? And will his offensive line live up to those lofty expectations? Which player fighting for a roster spot will make his mark? We answer those questions and more right now on Black and Blue Kickoff Live.
Well, are you ready for some Friday night football? The Black and Blue edition this evening. Preseason game number 2 just an hour away here on Fox Charlotte as you're taking a look at MetLife Stadium. The New York Football Giants hosting your Carolina Panthers.
And we'll soon be under the lights here at MetLife Stadium. Bryce Young and the boys hoping to get some points on the board today. That could depend on how much of the playbook Frank Reich actually decides to open up.
Welcome inside Black and Blue Kickoff Live tonight. Should be a fun one. The Giants starters did not play game 1. They should play tonight. A little bit more on the Panthers in a second here. Will Kunkel, Carly Gebhardt. Week 2 of a game that doesn't count, but it absolutely matters.
It absolutely matters. And we do know we're going to see more of Bryce Young tonight. We actually got to sit down with him earlier this week in an exclusive interview that you can watch here just a little bit later, and how he's adjusting to his rookie season. But of course, you know,
the wind's here.
The wind is definitely here. But we have we're on the road, but we have a full slate of people helping us break this game down back in our Charlotte studios. We got the former defensive end from the Carolina Panthers, Mr. Al Wallace. We got Mike Lissette and Gabe McDonald, and of course Tara Lane going to help us let us know what the forecast is here in New York.
Hey Tara, here's a cheat sheet. It's windy. Let's get into why we're actually out here, though. We've got some football to be played. Week 2 of the preseason, and I don't know if it's a prove-it week or not for the Panthers locker room, but after what they did week 1, I'd like to say to them to prove it that you care. On offense, even if the playbook is still limited, can Bryce Young and Matt Corral figure out how to move the chains and maybe even string together a couple scoring drives? Can the offensive line bounce back from their shaky preseason opener and prove that they are a top 10 worthy line that we all think that they can be? And can the defense buckle down? Because after allowing 5 drives of at least 8 plays to the Jets without Aaron Rodgers, let's be a little bit better because they got in the red zone 4 times as well. Players say, forget the first impressions that you saw, okay?
You have to take it in stride, whether it's, with the preseason games, with the practices now, practices, Spartanburg, whatever it is. There's always good and bad. And, we got to, the stuff that we did, we can build on. We got to keep doing that, and the stuff we got to get corrected. We're working day in and day out to do that.
Of course, we would like to go out there and score points because that's why we play the game. Definitely as an offense to score points. But, a lot of the times we go out there, sometimes it's, simple playbook or just trying to get guys in different positions. But I personally don't think too much into it.
Got to know where you at. Coach tell you, like, before what we're going to do, where we're going to be at, and really just got to listen and play your part, really.
So let's take a look at what happened for both of these teams last weekend. Both taking L's, doesn't count. Carolina shut out by the Jets 27-0. The Giants played to a 5-point game with the Lions. And we know Bryce Young will play tonight. He was 4 of 6 for 21 yards against the Jets. Matt Corral, he played 7 of the team's 10 offensive series. And Jalen Jones, quarterback for the Giants, did not play in Detroit. Instead, it was rookie Tommy DeVito. He threw a touchdown, also had a pick. But both defenses allowed more than 300 yards in their respective openers. Carla, I've been saying it all week on Charlotte Sports Live.
Yep.
Don't worry about this team winning or losing.
Right.
Worry about the process. Worry about how they get there. Now, if the process is so ugly as it was in week 1, they're going to end up losing. But if you can put together a good product on the field and you can see the offense and defense taking strides, I don't care about special teams right now.
Right.
Eddie Piñeiro's not kicking, then you're going in the right direction no matter the product result.
And I think today, really, the goal is to get the offensive line more figured out. They're not going to have everything figured out before we get to the regular season. But if they can maybe interchange interchange some more players at that right guard and get a strength there, then Bryce Young is going to be able to do more. The run game is going to open up. The passing game, it's all interconnected, right? And so you want to see them just move the ball. I think that's the biggest thing in this one. Not even that you really want to see them score. You do want to see them score because you want to see them win in the preseason, but they got to move the ball on offense.
Entertain me. I cannot sit up there for another game here at MetLife Stadium as we have in years past and look at you and be like, oh my gosh, what is happening right now? So let's put some drives together. Let's build on something. Again, I don't care if they win or lose. I just care that this offensive line gels. And then defensively, work on the tackling just a little bit. No Brian Burns, no Justin Houston tonight. Amari Barno will get the start on the defensive line as well, Will Johnson. So some names in, some names out. So you always keep that in mind as well.
Yeah, we mentioned that Bryce Young wasn't really able to do a lot in that Jets game last week, but he also wasn't asked to do a lot either. Number 9 played just 3 series in that game, had 4 completions and 2 throwaways. The playbook, though, very limited. Frank Reich not really wanting to show his hand in the preseason. Young was also sacked for a 9-yard loss, and he took a few hits in the pocket, and I think that's probably where the most concerning part is to keep him upright in this game.
You know, football's one of those games, Gabe, where we can break down 22 different positions, 22 different jobs, and on the offensive side, cut that in half. But if the offensive line doesn't do their job, then nobody else is going to be able to do their job. So talk to me about the offensive line. What do they need to do better to not be as terrible as they were week 1?
They got to have some cohesion, Will. I mean, they all have to be on one accord. That's, one unit on the entire football team that has to be all on one accord, all on the same page. And it's one unit on this Panthers team that we weren't really concerned about entering the season. It was the offensive line, Mike.
Yeah, but funny how things can change after just one preseason game. The O-line remaining largely intact from last year. The only change has been a right guard where Cade Mays is filling in for Austin Corbin, who's recovering from a torn ACL. With that said, the names and numbers were the same, but the Panthers starting O-line that we saw last Saturday against the Jets did not meet the expectations that they had acquired. The group allowed 8 quarterback hits, 5 of which ended up being sacks. Bryce Young got 1 of them. Young only took 11 snaps. He was hit 3 times. That afterwards led to an impromptu meeting with the team after the game, and the message, I believe, was well received.
We could do better. I believe I could do better. I'm going to go ahead and just be as critical as I possibly can of myself to see what I can do to make sure that when we step on the field for the next preseason game, I'm as good as I possibly can be and help the rest of the group out so we can all be at our best.
They're exhausted. It's been a hot these past couple days have been hot for them. So they're grinding through, and I think they understand just from sitting in meetings with them too that there's improvement to be had, and I think they've responded well.
It's fundamental football. If you're pad level, everything to hand placement, to those type of things. So fundamentals creep up on us.
All righty, let's bring in a guy who is used to feasting on offensive linemen, 10-year NFL veteran and former defensive end Al Wallace. Are we overreacting here to this situation, or is James Campen right on the money with fundamental problems?
I think I'm going to watch this game tonight before I overreact. This offensive line was good to end the season last year. I think what they have to do is go out there, like Coach Campen said, and get back to the fundamentals. That starts with running the ball. I'm not worried about all the positions. It's going to be right guard. Who's going to fill in for Austin Corbett? I think these young guys have a lot to learn. They got to play full football, and that starts tonight.
And then Cade Mays is going to be out for this game, but we saw, Chandler Zavala get back in the mix. He was on the PUP list throughout training camp, and James Campen was really high on him, in the draft process when they selected him. Obviously has that familiarity with Ike Ekwonu playing at NC State. What do you want to see out of him as he gets his first action out there tonight?
It sounds cliche, guys, but it's just the fundamentals. It's going out there and executing into that offensive line. The guy's built like a guard. He plays like a guard. He's physical with that specialty being mostly as a run blocker, but I think he can do a good job while he's covered up by Ike, by Taylor Moton, and you have Bradley Bozeman in the middle. So I'm looking forward to seeing the young guy, what he can do in his first opportunity here in the NFL.
So all week long, if you're on the offensive line, you're hearing the chatter, it was a big letdown. Get in their mind right now. How excited, how pumped up do you think they are for the opportunity tonight to make things right?
You got to go to work. This is one of the better defensive lines in the NFL, and I know that Coach Wink Martindale is going to bring some pressure, so it's about picking up those line stunts. It's about picking up some of the heat that they're going to get. They are on film. They can't take it away. The Giants saw it. They're going to come after this offensive line tonight.
And who are some other guys, maybe some guys that maybe underperformed a bit last week when they got a little bit more reps that you have eyes on, guys that are maybe fighting for their jobs right now moving forward?
I'm looking at that edge rush position, a position that I played that the guys are going to have to go out there and find out who's going to provide that balance opposite of Brian Burns.
Absolutely. Well, let's send it back out to Will and Carla, our main players up at MetLife Stadium. What's up, guys?
Main players, I dig that.
I like it. Suit up.
Carla's only here for a couple more minutes because she's going to be on the broadcast with Taylor Zarzauer and Steve Smith on the sidelines. You're going to have one of the best spots in the entire stadium right behind the bench. So what are you looking for tonight?
Yeah, really three things, and it's some of the things that we've already touched on, and it's that rotation at the right guard. Who's going to step in for Cade Mays and really make a difference on the offensive line, and just really how that unit kind of comes together and works together. We've also talked about we need to see more on the offensive side of things. Again, touchdowns are great. Winning this game would be fantastic, but you just want to see them get past the 50-yard line. You want to see them flip the field.
Big goals for them tonight.
Yes, but listen, we just want to see them move, right? And then overall morale of the team. And listen, last week's game, I wasn't panicked because the players were not panicked after that game. You got to talk to some of them, and they were like, look, we know what we need to fix. And so you look at that morale again when they're back on the sidelines, no matter the results tonight, and you see how they interact, how they encourage each other, how they encourage the second and third string players as well. Those are the things that are going to make a difference now, later in the regular season.
What are some of the things you hear when you're down here on the sideline, besides things you can't say?
Yeah, it's a lot of things that you cannot say. But, yeah, I mean, you hear guys encourage each other. You hear a lot of the veteran guys that might not be playing tonight give some pointers to the rookie guys, to the guys that really don't see the field a lot. And you also hear the coaches, right? They're constantly coaching their guys and getting ready for their next assignment. So it's all about, listening to those little phrases that you can't repeat, but knowing that that's going to make a difference when they get back in the game.
All right, you're done. Go get some hairspray, would you?
I need to borrow yours, by the way.
That?
I think you usually have it. I don't, so.
We've got a little bit left at this point. We got this exclusive interview coming up next.
Give us like your 30-second elevator speech. Like, who is Bryce Young outside of the Panthers uniform?
Get to know QB1. Bryce Young, up close and personal, coming up with you in Black and Blue Kickoff Live. Carla goes one-on-one with the #1 overall draft pick. And if there was one bright spot from last week's loss, it was the play of Sam Franklin. Why Frank Reich thinks that there's much more in the tank for the fourth-year safety. And fresh off their first playoff appearance since 2016, the New York Giants have their sights set on a bigger prize. And we've got a special guest to talk about those G-men coming up next.